everybody. Welcome back to this edition of Konversation with me, Rick.
And me, Nain.
And this beautiful young man. Can I say that or no? That
beautiful?
Young man?
Young man? He's younger than I am by 2 years. We just found out.
Yes.
So young man to me.
Yes.
This is great Grandmaster.
Nope, not great Grandmaster.
We had just a conversation about this. This is Grandmaster Anthony Wade.
Anthony Wade.
Nice to
who
meet
we've
you,
been
folks.
trying to get for a while, but he canceled us on
For
the
at
first
least
time.
a year and a half.
Year and a half.
Yeah.
He's a busy man. He's a busy man.
Yes.
So what have you been busy with? That's what.
Work and family. You know, work, family, and school. You know those.
School? You going to school still, or
my school, my martial arts. Wade's martial arts. Come on, dude. Come on now.
So let me ask you, let's get this part out of the way, because we like to ask and figure out where a lot of the martial arts people come from and why they got their start. How old were you when you first started martial arts?
I was 1 day older than dirt. Now I'm 2 days older than dirt.
2 days older than dirt. There you go.
No, I started in 86.
86, wow.
Yeah, 86.
And, well, that's right. You're only 58. So, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I was always under the impression that you started back with all the other guys, the Gaylords and right? So you're not that old.
No, not that old. I like to think of it as the next generation,
right?
After the the Gaylords
you're
and the
part of
Morales
the pioneer
and stuff. So, yes, yeah.
No, and because you carry yourself so well. I mean, we've been, like Nain said, we've been trying to get you on the show for about a year and a half now.
Yeah.
And we've only been doing the show for 2 years.
And I apologize, guys. I apologize. But
he keeps giving us the slip.
Hey, come on. You have to admit, we're not on anyone's high priority list.
Just a couple of guys.
It has nothing to do with that, And I almost slipped out this time, but no, I'm just kidding. No, when I knew Nain was going to be here, I knew that it was going to happen.
Yeah. Incidentally, folks, we are at an event. This is one of your events. What are we calling this event today?
So this is Golden Dragon Ohana.
Cool.
This is our event. The name comes from Senior Grandmaster Pete's school, which was Golden Dragon School of Karate.
And that's Grandmaster Pete Morales.
That's Senior Grandmaster Pete Morales. Right? Yes, yeah. And he started this Ohana because he wanted good people to come together. No attitudes, no egos or anything along those lines. He just wanted, for us to come together.
Really?
As an Ohana.
Then why was I invited? Because I'm all ego. That's all me.
We had to sign an exception waiver for you, so
Ice is going to come by later on. Sure. Right when he's doing his thing, Ice is going to come by and tag him.
Exactly. And so when he had closed the school down in the mid-'90s, and he started the Golden Dragon Ohana, like I said, he wanted to bring people together, as one unit to come in fellowship. And so this event today is the first big event that we've actually tried to have since COVID has come down.
That witch.
And tell me about it. Mm-hmm. And so we came out here and got a great showing of people and wonderful events.
How did that affect you, the COVID? I mean, did you have to shut your school down for a while?
Absolutely. Everybody had to shut down.
Did you go online Zooming and stuff?
Yeah, we did the online Zoom thing. We actually, for a while, we were actually training in the parking lot of the school. Okay, we set up cones and we set up chairs, and we were actually training in the parking lot of the school, just to keep going. But the wonderful thing is my students, I was very blessed that I think only one family left, through the whole ordeal.
That's amazing.
That's loyalty.
I was absolutely floored, absolutely floored.
So how'd you do it? How do you retain that?
For me, it's more along the lines of a relationship.
Okay.
Than it is a business, and that's what I try to foster with the parents and the students. More of a relationship. It's easier if you make it reasonably priced for a good product.
Right.
They'll come and they'll stay.
Well, I've always heard a lot of great things about you. I mean, outside of the fact
I know it cost me a lot to pay them people too.
I know.
So it better pay off.
Dennis says he got one of his cars from you because of it.
Yes.
No, but you're regarded as one of the really cool people in the kaiju stuff.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
We hear your name a lot. I mean, even on our show, people, and we're like, okay, we definitely got to get, and that's why we've been trying to bust our balls trying to get you in here, guys.
Yeah, to the point we had to bust his balls just to get him to sit down. This is his event, by the way.
This is definitely his event. This is the only reason why we got him. It's a captive audience.
Yes, pretty much. He can't go
Exactly.
anywhere until he gets hungry, and then we have to feed him. But beyond that,
So
there's that
let me
too.
ask you this: when you started back in '89,
86.
'86,
Yeah.
what got you in the door? I mean, were you bullied, or you said, "Oh, I need to learn something"? Or
Nope.
just
Nope. The interesting thing is I just wanted to continue training. I just wanted to continue something physical.
What were you doing
all my
before?
life, I'd always been involved in sports. As a matter of fact, when I moved to the Bay Area, I was wrestling and I blew my knee out.
ooh,
And
Yeah, those are bad.
the doctors was like, yeah, we're gonna have to go in and we'll have to do surgery. And I'm like, you're not touching my knee. I'm done. I'll just walk off the wrestling mat.
there you go.
limp
And
off.
I'm sorry.
Limp off.
Pretty much. Well, it was actually quite interesting because I didn't know I blew my knee out.
Oh,
So you were still good.
The night before we had a meet,
Uh-huh.
and we went. I wrestled, came back. The next day we were getting dressed for practice. Got dressed for practice. Went upstairs to go train. The coach from a clear across the mat. He's like, "What's wrong with your knee?" It's like, "What do you mean?" He said, "What's wrong with your knee?" I said, "Nothing." He said, "Look at your knee." And I looked down. My knee was just like this big.
And you're like, so he's not the sharpest tool on the shed, folks. He's running out of the
I'm like, I guess there's a
Size of a
problem down there, huh?
football.
I mean, literally, it was
how
that
do you
big.
not notice?
It didn't hurt, wasn't wasn't an issue.
crazy.
And
Yeah,
so-
I know it's twice the size, but,
But
it
once you
doesn't
found out,
hurt.
were you
so-
screaming like crazy?
No, I was like, well, I guess I probably should go get this checked out. Yeah,
Did you do one of those things where you're like,
of course, you have to. I'm a guy. I'm a guy. Okay, that's a total guy thing, right? And so went and got an X-ray, and it's like, yeah, you tore something in there. We're gonna have to go in. I was like, no, you're not. I'm done.
Wow.
You know.
And then you just
sorry,
let it-
coach?
Yeah,
I'll just
I was
sit down, I'll be
see ya.
good.
Exactly. And so then, when I moved to the Bay Area for work, I wanted to continue something, to continue being
You
physically
thought
active.
martial arts would be the thing.
Well, here's the interesting thing. So I had an interview with Grandmaster Casey McPartland.
Oh,
Okay, Senior Grandmaster
Hilarious
Casey
guy.
McPartland. Now, he was working for a company, and he was the senior director of the IT department. So he wasn't my direct boss. He
Right.
was like two bosses up.
bosses up.
And so I went through the interview process for the low-level guys, and so then I interviewed with him, and he just so happened to mention this weird art that he was, training in. He was like a blue belt, I think, at that time.
Wow, how
And
long time ago.
yeah, and he was talking about it, and he's like, well, great. If I get the job, I'd love to come down and check it out.
Hire me and I'll go.
Wow.
Wow, what a sales pitch.
And sure enough, they wound up hiring me, and
You had to
Senior
own up.
Grandmaster Casey and we just bonded. We had
That's
a really good friendship.
It's
So
so
it's
cool.
his fault that I'm actually here today.
Oh, so we can
okay,
blame
because
him.
we can.
We're not
we
going
can
to
blame
spill it.
him,
You
so-
can-
So thank you, Great Master
Yes.
Casey.
And
That's funny.
Senior Grandmaster Casey, we had a relationship off the mat, a professional relationship that was unlike any other relationship that I ever had. He was a mentor
Well,
to me, and
when
he
you
brought me
talk
along
about
the
when
ways.
you talk about Ohana, especially with the Golden Dragon, I
Right.
mean, you really feel that and you really see that. I mean, the few events that we've seen your groups together, and I'm like, wow, this is really that family atmosphere that you
Yes.
guys talk about, and that's one of the
Yes.
things I've always admired, and and definitely, it's one of the things that I mean, I didn't know Grandmaster Morales that well, but the few times that I met him, very cordial, very polite. Same thing. Casey, that guy was just so charming. As old as he was,
Yes.
I mean, he's just very, hey, how's it going, right?
Very
Yeah,
down to earth.
very charismatic,
Yes.
very funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I barely met him, and he was already cracking jokes, and that was via email. We hadn't even met in person. Then we meet in person, and he recognized me right away. I'm like, I didn't even send you a picture. Like, how'd you know it was me?
He always did his research.
Oh my.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's
I mean-
what it was.
Yeah, and again, like I said, that's one of the things that I love about the Ohanas that that we get involved with in any martial arts. I mean, everybody is just that kind, because you hear a lot of bad stories in the martial arts.
Oh, yeah.
Right. You hear the
Yeah.
egos and then the chest pumping, the
Yeah.
whole bit. But when you see groups like this, Golden Hunt, I'm like, wow, this is what it should be, right? Because I grew up in the days when martial arts meant something, right? I was in martial arts back in the 70s, and that meant a lot. You know, as crazy as we didn't have the pads or anything like that. We were just going for it, but everybody was real cool. You know, and in the events, the tournaments, thousands of people would show up, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays, you're lucky if you get 200 people to show up.
Grand spectacle.
Exactly.
You know, and that's why. And then to see this at this time, and I'm like, oh, this is what it used to be. This is how. This is what I remember.
Right.
Of the back days, you know, because that's long gone.
Yes.
You don't see it that way.
Yeah, the tournament scene definitely isn't as big as it used to be.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, and I think it's really morphed into events like this. You know, seminars.
Yes, people are just
and I really enjoy the seminars more than the tournaments because you actually get an opportunity to meet, sit down, and talk with people.
Right.
You know, it's not a competition type of thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Not trying to outdo each other.
Exactly.
That removes a lot of ego.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, I know you guys do belts. In our system, we don't do belts only because Danny, my brother, who created our system.
Yet I have a belt.
Yet he has a belt. We stayed away from that because we've always felt that belts are kind of ego-driven or become that.
Can be, very.
But I've seen some schools who work it really well, and you don't see that. I mean, you might get the 1 or 2 knucklehead students who use that as a, hey, go do wash the floor or something, because I said so. Do you guys? I know you guys aren't like that. I mean, I've noticed that everybody pretty much stays where they know where they're supposed to be.
Yeah. No, at our schools, we do have belts. Okay, we do have a belt system. I have 2 belt systems, one for my junior kids and one for the adults.
Right.
And so I make it very clear whenever somebody walks into the school that I don't give belts. I'm not a belt manufacturer. If you're looking for a black belt, you can go down on Amazon. You can go buy one.
That's right.
It's that
It's like
simple.
$8, I think.
Yeah, that's what
exactly. It's about $8. Exactly.
That's what it cost them, right?
Yeah. But it's earned. Okay, you're going to earn your rank.
Well, we've seen that in Kaiju. You guys do some of the more
Oh,
straight.
yes.
Belt rankings.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yes.
My niece, who finally got her Qigong, she said, they put you in a dark room. They have guys jump on you. You're supposed to
Pretty close to it, yeah.
right? I'm like,
Yeah, they're pretty close to
they
it.
said, we don't have an audience. You can bring your parents, and that's
They
it.
wait outside.
Because they actually will test you, and you have to earn that black belt.
Yes.
They said, she was like, she was like, I had to beat down 2 other guys. And I'm like, that's amazing.
Yes, that's the old school Kaji way.
Yeah.
And at my school, we still do that.
Yeah, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you do got to do the pressure testing.
Exactly. And it's not so much about the, what they can physically do. It's more along the lines of them proving to themselves
Right.
what they can actually do.
I like that.
I look back at, my life, and I look at what I've actually been able to accomplish outside of the martial arts.
Yeah.
And I can directly tie it to what I've been able to do and prove to myself that I can do in the martial arts.
I love that. And I think we try to instill that into all of our students, don't we?
Yeah,
We hope to.
Yeah,
To
we,
let
well,
them
we,
know
we
that.
hope to. Okay. Some of them are a little bit hard-headed than others, so
Why you look at me?
Well, you know what they say: if the shoe fits.
I'm not wearing any right now. That's why.
Do you know how tough it was for him to get a black belt?
So,
I mean,
well,
Wait, how tough was it?
Amazon probably took them about 5 minutes.
no. Well,
It took a lot. I wanted to find the
Amazon
right one.
was
It had to
down
be long
because of
enough.
COVID.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so,
So
shipping.
it took a while.
Yeah.
We actually had somebody else order it for him.
Nice.
Right.
No, but he'd been with us for 8 years, and we never thought to give him a belt because we
Right.
just don't do belts.
Right.
And somebody saw him and says, "Hey, your kid needs a belt." I mean, he's actually very talented, blah blah. And Siju, was it
Sijo.
Sijo?
Sijo. He's not a
Johnny
Jew.
Oh, okay.
Oliva.
Okay. Yeah.
He says, hey, I'm allowed to give up belts if he can prove his mustard. We'll do that. I go, well, we don't really do belts. He goes, well, at some point when you and Danny die, he's going to need some credibility to say
Right.
that, So all right, me and Danny were fighting tooth and nail about it. He goes, no, I don't think. But we finally said, okay, fine. And they had him in front of how many instructors? Black belt.
There was at least 3, including Dennis, Sijo, and
Gomez was there.
Oh, Gomez too. I forgot. But Tony Ramos is.
Amici.
Amakuchi.
Yeah, Amakuchi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he was there too. So yeah, they just and then some. I think some
Hold on
of
a
Siege's
second.
black belts.
Did you expect it, or did they just spring it on you, or did you know?
No, they told me it was happening. As to who was going to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't
I have
know.
no idea.
Yeah.
Right? And they questioned the hell out of him, and they said, "Okay, yeah, you deserve this belt. Here you go." They had him perform. Me and Danny were out there with the little thing for the music, so that he was like doing the little monkey dance, and it was great.
Yeah.
He did awesome.
Well, thank you for letting me off the collar that time. I appreciate it. Jeez.
Now, one thing that I've noticed about you, what I like about you a lot, is that you're a funny guy.
My beautiful head.
No, you're a funny. I joked earlier about you being one of Eddie Murphy's lost brothers or something because you're just so funny. I mean,
And before that, you said he was a stand-in for Shaft.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, there was that too.
hey,
Yeah.
Richard Ronson,
Yeah,
you're in good class there,
Hey,
buddy.
hey.
Hey,
It's
high
just,
praise.
it's just the beautiful looks. That's all. That's all. Yes,
Good-
yeah.
good skin
Good
tone.
genes. Good genes. Good genes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
I like it. So, where do you want your stuff to go? Because I know when Grandmaster Morales passed away, you were handed at, I guess after
After Casey.
Casey, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell us about that. How does that all work out?
So when Senior Grandmaster Pete passed away, he had stated that Senior Grandmaster Casey was going to be the successor.
Right.
When Senior Grandmaster Casey passed away, we needed a successor as well.
And how many months of that
So-
part was that? Because I remember
Oh
this
wow!
happened
It was
really fast.
it was probably about 13 months. If even that.
Right,
you know,
within the
that-
year.
Because I
Yeah.
remember it happened
Yeah.
really fast.
Yeah, it
Well, he
happened
lost his best
real
friend.
fast.
I mean,
Yes, yeah. And so, then, it was, they, had conversation and they had thought about me and it was like, hold on a second, we still have Senior Grandmaster Bill Seals here.
Yeah.
Okay, and rightfully it's his position to, own
Right,
and
to
run
do-
it.
yeah.
Own and run it. The downside is he's in Guatemala.
Guatemala.
exactly. And
you
so-
lied to me. You said he was in Mexico,
Yeah.
not Guatemala.
Well, I knew he was somewhere in Latin
Yeah.
America.
It's
Well,
all the
actually,
same
no.
to you?
Let me think about that. No, he was in Guatemala. Now he is in Mexico.
Ah,
Yes,
see?
yes, yes.
Because I just
yes,
talked to him
yes.
the other
So,
day.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
We're
he is
trying to
in
get him
Mexico,
on the
so-
show, folks.
Yes.
I don't know if you noticed, but I believe him a lot more than I believe that guy.
Well, that's because
That guy.
it's my smile.
It
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
very
it's a
convincing.
smile.
Very
Yeah,
convincing.
He has that comforting smile.
Yeah, he
It's
said
like,
Guatemala. It must be Guatemala, not Mexico. You liar.
no, it's Mexico. Hey, I just talked to him 2 days ago.
Oh, that's right.
I was on the phone with him. I know where he's at. God damn it.
It's okay. Everyone knows you're full of shit.
So then, is that the skin tone? No, I'm
Pretty
just
much.
kidding.
Pretty much.
So, our black belts got together underneath Senior Grandmaster Pete, and we decided that Senior Grandmaster Bill is the rightful,
The rifle there.
the rightful heir,
Right.
the Ohana. And so I help him run it from here in the U.S.
Oh,
So-
you're the heir apparent.
So,
Heir apparent.
yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
go with
yeah,
that.
Would be
yeah.
called.
That's a good label for jeans.
Heir apparent.
Heir
Brought to you by the Golden Dragon Ohana.
Exactly. I'll start
Now
my,
we're doing a commercial.
I'll start my own gi line, right? Heir apparent, right here.
So, a good friend of yours who we've had on the show speaks really highly of you, and I believe
I'm sorry.
your school is right.
I know, right?
next
It's that.
or right in the same studio as hers. Tammy
Absolutely.
Willey.
Yes.
Right? Now,
Yes.
how did that come out? Because that's always been fascinating, right? It's like, what? His school is here? He goes, no, this is my school. But wait, oh no, we're both in the same school.
Yeah.
One sign on one
So-
window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Here's the
remember
interesting-
when we walked there, right? When
Yeah, we were
there,
confused.
We were confused as to, wait, is it Gaylord method? Is it this method? We're like, what's going on?
It's both.
Yeah, well, that's why we were tripping out.
So here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
So I started in a little room. I started weights martial arts in a little room in the gym, smaller than this area here.
Wow.
Okay. Had 6 students start out, and when it got to about 10 students, it got to be too much. I
Right.
mean, it got to be where we were putting holes in the wall. Okay. People fall up against the wall,
Yeah,
their
yeah.
head hit it, and bust through the sheetrock. So we relocated from that location. We are actually sharing space with a ballet school, which was a horrific experience, by the way.
Oh, I can imagine.
And so we
What a
we were
culture
there.
clash.
Oh yes. And so I went to a KAA picnic, and so happened to run into Tammy,
Okay.
and she had mentioned that a friend of hers had a business in this complex, and there was an open unit, and she was thinking about it, in Stockton. And I said, well, look, if you're interested in it, maybe we can, do something together.
Right.
Okay. Because I'm part-time. Okay. I have a full-time job, and I only teach, part-time. And so she was like, yeah, let's, we'll see what, so we exchanged numbers. So I went down and I looked at it. And when I first looked at it, I was like, there's no way.
Yeah, we were there. We know.
It's pretty rough. I mean, it was pretty rough around the edges. And so I called the landlord, and he was like, yeah, sure, would love to have a karate school there. I was like, yeah, but I can't see having kids there. I mean, the parking lot is dark. You got, people hanging out in the parking lot. There's no lighting, and so on and so forth. And he cut the price of the rent to a point to where he made it affordable for us.
Right.
And so met with Tammy, and we were like, okay, so I'll take Mondays and Wednesdays. You can take Tuesdays and Thursdays. And here we are today. I mean, it's coming up on, 10 years now?
Wow.
And the way it works is Ohana Martial Arts is the facility.
Right.
Okay. Housed in that facility, you have Wade's Martial Arts and Wayland's Kaiji Kembo.
Huh.
So
Very cool.
When we heard about that, we're like, because we were confused. We walked in there, the door said one thing, and it also said another thing. We're like,
And then there was pews inside. So
Yeah,
and then there were pews. Yeah, exactly.
what kind of weird church is this? It's a cult.
Those were actually donated. And here's the other interesting
Oh, wow.
thing. When we opened the school up, we did not take out a loan. We did not borrow money from anybody.
wow.
Okay. We actually built the school from ground up, and we didn't owe anybody a dime.
Oh,
That's awesome.
And I think that is
That
the
in
key.
itself is a very rare
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah, and to be 10 years in the go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
I thought he was going to say they used their martial arts skills to beat people out of the money.
Well, there was
That
a few.
too.
There was a few of those, but yeah.
We will talk about that today. We'll do that on the After Dark show.
Yes.
After some rum or
When,
whiskey.
when he pulls out his his Lou Gossett voice.
See, you are 80s. You are in the 80s. guys.
Exactly.
Iron Eagle.
Yes,
Dude,
yes,
that was the guy.
yes.
Happy.
It's weird.
Oh my
I was
God.
born in the middle of that decade, and I still know what you guys are talking about.
You're an old soul, man.
I am.
old
This
soul.
is one of my best friends is him, which doesn't say
you
very
still
good
hang
about
around
me.
him?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
well, I have responsibility because if he hurts anybody, it's going to be on me. So
Oh,
I got to keep. You know how it is, right?
Yeah, there is that.
You know, you teach these kids to kill people. You got to be responsible.
so you
for
got
what
you
they
got to
do.
hold the launch code to
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
bomb you made. Okay. No.
Yeah.
I don't know if to be
This show
feel
has
good
gotten
about
shit
myself
already,
or bad.
you know, right?
It always
Yeah.
does. So I'm curious about something then. You said you were in sports. You moved out here. Where were you originally? Where are you originally from?
Huh?
Where are you originally?